Now, amid a massive Snoopgate face-off in Parliament, here's an equally big, perhaps, U-turn by Amnesty International. The civil rights body has reportedly said that it never claimed an NSO Pegasus list of people who were spied upon. Reports say that Amnesty is blaming some global media companies for the confusion. Reports quoting Amnesty say that the list is only indicative and contains names of people who clients of NSO would like to spy on, and not the names of people who were actually spied upon. Now, the reports say that a small group of names on the list were indeed spied upon, but there is no clarity on who is in that list, who was actually spied upon and who perhaps could have been. Amnesty is, in fact, one of the proponents of this global investigation which was conducted, which said to reveal the list of high-profile individuals allegedly spied on through Israeli Pegasus spyware. Now, the IT minister will be addressing Parliament today at 2 p.m. on this entire controversy. It's led to a big political showdown over the last 1 week. I want to take this across to Munish Pandey. He's joining us live with more details on this. Munish, a lot of confusion, a lot of questions that Amnesty International is facing right now. They are supposedly one of the proponents of this global investigation into the Snoopgate. But now they're saying that this list perhaps is confusion, and hence, it's not necessarily people who've been spied upon, perhaps targets who could have been spied upon.
Yes, certainly, Archita, there are several reports by media outlets saying that this list of potential target by the NSO group was something which was of interest of NSO group. But now Amnesty International has come out in open and they have said that they never claimed that this was a list of potential target by the NSO group. This was a investigation conducted by Amnesty International with another group, another France-based group, and now Amnesty International has created certain amount of confusion because it is still not clear, and the forensic evidence is also lacking in supporting their evidence, saying that this group was, or this list of phone numbers were actually targeted. Also, there were reports that these people who were targeted, possibly targeted by the NSO group, are the people.
All right, Munish, just stay on with us. We're getting a reaction also from the BJP. The head of the BJP IT media cell, Amit Malviya, is joining us on this broadcast. Amit, good morning. Your reaction to what's coming from Amnesty International now? They're saying there's been some confusion that the list that's doing the rounds right now isn't necessarily the list of people snooped upon.
Well, we've been saying this forever, that this is a concocted story. No one knows if the phones have been hacked. No one knows whether who ordered the hack. No one knows where the list has come from. There is nothing to corroborate anything which has been alleged in these media reports. Yet there is so much of hullabaloo about it. The fact is that Amnesty's revelation is not new. Earlier also, when you had a similar thing do the rounds, there was no clarity around it even then, and it continues to be so even now. It's just a fishing expedition to undermine democracies, to undermine elected governments, and the fact that it emerged just a day before the monsoon session of the parliament should tell you that it was intended to disrupt parliamentary proceedings, and of course sections of the media and the opposition has taken it completely on themselves to do what was expected of them.
As far as the opposition is concerned, Amit, they've been raising this, as you pointed out, in the monsoon session of Parliament. Now, Amnesty says that this list is perhaps indicative. What's your response to the opposition who've, been accusing the government of spying, of snooping, of, breaking the basic tenets of the Constitution?
Look, the first thing that we must ask the opposition is that the media reports that they're referring to or relying on, even those media reports have not indicated that the government has ordered this snooping. The NSO in its various correspondences has said that they have a bunch of clients, which includes federal governments, state governments, and even private clients. So to assume and make this allegation that it was done at the behest of Government of India, when the government actually clarified on the floor of the House that no such surveillance or hack had been authorized, and there's a set process in the Telegraph Act and the IT Act to do so. Yet the opposition continues to create pandemic in Parliament. It's very clear that there are vested interests across the world who want to undermine India's democracy, and our opposition is a handy tool for them, and so is a section of the media.
All right, Amit Malviya, thank you for joining us with your opinion on this news break that's just come in. Amnesty International, for viewers who are just joining us on this broadcast, reportedly is now backtracking on this supposed global investigation on snooping. Amnesty International is now saying that, look, this is a list that's perhaps indicative of people who could be snooped upon. Some of these names are people who've been snooped upon. Some are only indicative. And they're saying that, some of the media reports is only spreading confusion. But then the question arises, who's actually being snooped upon and who isn't? Will we actually get clarity on that? Now, BJP is saying that, this was clearly a tool that was used by the opposition to try and disrupt the monsoon session of Parliament, not let Parliament function. We've been seeing that for the last many days as well. Now, according to, in fact, Amnesty International, reports are suggesting that, there is a lot of confusion over the information that's out on the snooping ground. Remember that many publications, many media organizations across the world had come together for this particular investigation, and Amnesty International is one of the proponents of this investigation, and they're saying there seems to be some sort of confusion. Some of the names, yes, they were snooped upon. The others are perhaps people who could have been snooped upon, is what Amnesty International is saying. But as we get you the latest reactions on what Amnesty has to say, here's a look at what the Israeli tech firm, the NSO, which is in the eye of the snooping storm, had to tell India today. They've claimed that the list of countries was not accurate, and they've called all of this particular Snoopgate revelations as fabricated information.
What could be the deal between Israel's NSO and India? And what could be the method of procurement?
Actually, I can't refer to any of our customers. I just want to emphasize that NSO is not related to the list published by Forbidden Stories. It is not an NSO list, and it never was. Just to say it's fabricating information. It is not a list of targets or potential targets of NSO customers.
Do you think that it was some government agreement between India and Israel for India procuring the software for NSO?
Again, I can't refer to NSO's customers.
When the government of India denies the accusation of snooping on its people, what could be the base and substantial evidence to back the charges leveled in this series of investigations against the government?
So you have to ask the government. I can only speak on behalf of NSO, of course, not on behalf of any other country.
The NSO group, residing in the building behind me, found itself this week in the middle of a political turmoil as a piece of investigative journalism leveled accusations against the company that its spyware named Pegasus is being used by its customers and governments for all lawful surveillance against human rights activists, journalists, and political leaders. Among the data trove released, there were found hundreds of Indian phone numbers, among them phone numbers of a few dozen journalists, government critics, and even political leaders such as Rahul Gandhi. The company, I should state, is denying the accusations and denying any knowledge of the unlawful use done by its product by its customers.